Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TISA's presentation event. So, first of all, let us begin with a small round of introduction. First, I will request Siddhi to give her introduction.
So my name is Sidhi Vernekar and I currently stay in Mumbai. I'm in my third year. I'm doing the pharmacy and MBA degree. So this will be my end of the third year now. And I have done online course through uh, TISA in the month of February, and after that I joined the groups as well. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you very much, Siddhi. Now, I would like to invite Ansh Ved Singh.
Hello everyone, I am Ansh Ved Singh. I'm a student of BTech, fourth year computer science student from Bundelkhand University, Jhansi. I'm uh, I'm joined TISA 6 months ago approx. And my presentation topic is about the fingerprint of authentication, how it's work. Thank you.
Thank
What a
you.
time.
Thank you, Anshi. So, talking about me, myself, Rohil Zalke, I belong to Nagpur, Maharashtra. I have been a part of this wonderful organization since 2019, and it has been a great journey since then. And the topic of my presentation is on one of the great king India has ever witnessed, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So this presentation will idealize uh, his organization skills and his management terms, and due to which he's still known in this modern era as well. So that's my presentation all about. So before we begin the presentation, first of all, every presenter will get 20 minutes to present, and after each presentation, there will be 5 minutes of question and answer session. And while a presenter is presenting, no one should interrupt in between. Like as I said, there will be a separate question and answer session for this, and there should be no comment or presentation on controversial topics. So yeah, so thank you everyone. So who wants to go first? Siddhi, would you like to present first?
Okay then. Okay, sure. I'll have to share my screen for this.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Uh, I'm not able to share my
Oh,
screen.
sorry. I every time I just forget it to allow the participants to present. Really sorry. Yeah, you can try it now.
Wait, wait. You can see it, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So I'll go ahead then. So, the topic which I have selected is being indistractable, which is the most important skill for the future of any person. In this presentation, we'll be looking at the factors which affect us every day and how they are impacting our daily life and uh, everything we can do to not feel distracted at all. Like, for example, what I have learned through these years is that throughout the day, if I look at my schedule, I think half of the hours I am not able to do something fruitful at all. Like, if I use that spare time which I have, uh, I think I can do so many things which I'm unable to do now. If only I use my time really well, I think uh, I would love to have a lot of focus and concentration on anything I do. So we'll go ahead. There are five factors we'll be looking into: productivity, distraction, triggers, and the future. So we'll go ahead. Okay, how do we increase our productivity every day? You may have noticed that we tend to use our devices more often, like smartphone and laptops, and we don't tend to use them for doing which is really important and which will affect our future really to a great extent. Like, so the difference between traction and distraction. Like, traction is something that something you have to do. Like, it's an action which will impact you in a p- positive way, but distraction will affect you in a negative way. And uh, and this is not very easy to stay away from everything. Like, if you are on a call, if you're speaking to a friend, or if you're using social media, it's not really easy to stay away from it every day and only to focus on your work. So we'll go ahead with the first one: managing distractions. Um, So in this day and age, everybody has a smartphone. Everybody knows how to use them, and they do agree that we spend many hours on it, not just looking at things which are useful to us, but also things that aren't so much useful to us at all. Like, for especially for entertainment or something, we watch movies, we watch series. I think once in a while it's okay, but if you are making it a habit and staying away from the actual work, or if you're in school, or so you have to do studies, or if you are working in an office, so the job which requires so much amount of your attention and focus, so that we stay away from all of this only because of some a little mm, pile of ledger, I think. So the next one is technology is everywhere. You can't stay away from it. It's become our like a second habit to us. Like, you can't stay away from your phone for a long period. If you go out, you take your phone with you, and it's really important to have it as well because obviously for safety reasons, or if you want to search something which is important, you can't stay away from it at all, and phone calls and everything. But the thing is, when this becomes not to help you but to destroy you, then we need to take an action. Um, and so we go ahead. Okay. Sometimes companies will expect you to use so many hours of your day at work, or even after work, like after the office hours, they will ask you to do these assignments and everything. But what if you're not able to focus? I think it will hamper your ability to do so many things to get promotion, or if you want to get good marks in school and college, it will affect you a lot. This does not happen overnight. Like this takes many years for you to be into this habit, this cycle of not being able to focus on anything. And later on, what happens is that you are not interested in doing anything at all. Like apart from being on a phone, you are not interested to do anything. So we should not be in that stage. I think I'm not sure how the future it will be for other people, but it should not be the future for you. And taking responsibility. See, there are many factors which happen in your daily life which will affect you. But it's in our hands how we like manage it, and how we are able to fight against the addiction as well. It totally depends on us. Okay. So the next thing, distraction. We'll just take a look at how are they classified. So it is defined as a process of interrupting attention. Like nowadays, we have very little attention span. Even for 5 minutes, we can't focus in a class without looking at our phone. Like it's something about it, the way the smartphones are made, the way they are designed as well. It's very difficult to not look at it or be like, no, I have to focus for at least 2 hours now. Very difficult as well. So we look ahead with habits. So recently I was reading a book. This was about habits only, like how they researched on habits and why we have those tendency to do things every day uh, at a specific schedule. I think I know the book. Yeah, it was The Power of Habit, and I haven't read it, the full book, but it just says that there are some uh, firing in our brain which makes us do things we do every day, like we wake up every day at this hour, or if we eat at this hour because our appetite is it makes us hungry at this hour, or we sleep at night. So the whole cycle is something which we have been through our entire life. And when some factors, like if you see the children these days, they are really small, and they don't know what habit is or how this happens, but they are playing or anything they do, it's a cycle which they are their parents or anybody is making them understand. So the next thing is okay, we'll move on with the next part. Yeah, digital distraction is looking at notifications that pop up on your phone, or you may be using or scrolling through social media like Instagram and WhatsApp. And sometimes, even though we may not have particular thing to look at, we may just scroll and explore the whole app for so many hours. Like if you're started on searching on a thing, then you may not even know. Like you will end up just searching on for 3 to 4 hours, and you may not even know that you have spent so much so many hours. And Like for me, right now I would say for about 2 years back, I used to use my phone a lot. Like it's because there were online lectures because of the lockdown, and I had my first 2 years online, only online. So I used to be on my phone for the whole day almost, and that caused me to have a increase my eye number as well, and um, because because of the screen, I think it affects our eyes a lot, and I think more than our eyes, it affects our mental health as well, which is really, really important. Like if you look at Instagram, you'll be like, oh, your friend is out somewhere and you are not. So that affects us to a certain extent. And so what I did was after my college started, after the third year started, I sold off my smartphone, and now I'm using a really small phone which only has features to call or send SMS, because I think that is I just needed to stay away from my phone for I was for a long time because I was thinking about it, and now I just have my laptop to use, so that only for the important things like any studying or something I use it. Okay, traction. So as I told you, what traction is something that moves us towards what we really want. I think every one of us has a goal in life which we would like to achieve, and it's not really difficult um, uh, to achieve the goal if you have focus, and if you have focus and you work and put your efforts towards it. And I think uh, distraction, as it shows, it will move us away from what we want, and we should stay away from it. Okay. So actions. There are many actions we do every day, and some are important for us, really important, like exercising, eating healthy, and doing our work, which will help us to move forward in career as well. So, uh, I think, and also spending time with your family is a really important thing you need to do. Yeah. So we move ahead with triggers. So this is just being more detailed into everything. Like how are we triggered to lose our focus? So the first is external triggers. External triggers, as the name suggests, they are cues from our environment. Like something else other than you will start the uh, distraction. Like if you have to answer an email, or if you see something on the news or for on a TV, or somebody asks you to see this, see that. So that is an external trigger. People may be external trigger, or other things may be external triggers. Accept yourself, because competition for attention. As you can see, uh, as I have told, like it could be from a interruption, it could be from of from someone you know, or maybe a co-worker, or maybe your friends as well. So all these cause external triggers. Internal triggers is something which happen to us, like it's something we think, and that causes us to lose focus. Like if we are hungry, as I told you, like we have appetite, so we think we're hungry, so we leave everything aside to go and take to go and eat, or maybe we order. So that is an internal trigger, and it's the same way. If you feel hot, so you will remove the blanket. If you feel cold, so you will use the blanket. So every activity has a reason behind it. We don't do any activity without any uh, factor which affects us. Then origin of action. Um, so this is just the way that sometimes it could be originating from the same source. Like it could be a combination of external and internal triggers. Like maybe somebody asked you to do this, but you yourself were like, yeah, I have to. So you stayed away from your work and you had to go out. So that is a trigger in itself. Okay, so we'll go ahead with the next one, which is the indistractable model. So I've explained to you what is internal triggers, external triggers, distraction. All these things are very interlinked. Like they can't be separated from each other. Uh, Master the internal triggers. The most, I think, what I think is the most important trigger is yourself. If you don't decide to do something, then it's your fault and it's in your control only. Nobody else can actually force you to not study or not to do your assignments. Nobody else will be there. And when you fail, nobody else will be there to say that, yeah, I was the reason you failed. Nobody will say that. It's all up to it's all up to you what you do. There's so many things, coping mechanisms, self-soothing, and human behavior. So we'll move ahead. What is human behavior? Human behavior is so fragile. Like we may think of something at some point, and we may change our mindset in itself. Like we don't want to do something which is not entertaining. We don't want to do something which um, will make us work. Like nobody wants to do hard work. It's just something that it's inbuilt in us, and we need to find out ourselves, like if it will help us in the future or no. And most of the time, we seek out entertainment. We seek out YouTube videos. Not every time that will help us. Like nobody is going to open up a TED talk and learn something from it. It's really rare these days. We may just look at reels or YouTube shorts, which will. So all this is human behavior, and it's all up to us how we change our behavior and how we think. Self-soothing. So sometimes we play games. Like some games are made so that they prone other people to help them relax, or maybe you are using social media for all this, but all these things will steer you away from doing something which is important. Like if you don't want to study now, you will obviously close down your notes and use your phone instead, because it's so much easier. It's comparatively and frankly, everyone won't agree to this, but it's so much easier to do that. But in the end, when your exams are near and one day before when you have to do everything, it's not going to be easy at all. Then negative emotions. Sometimes we are so depressed and we are not in a healthy state of mind to do anything. Maybe we had a long day and we were lazy, and we were so exhausted from everything we had to do the whole day that in the end we just sleep. We don't do anything. We wake up late, and sometimes all these reasons will affect you in some way, but don't take it too long. Don't make it like it will start from a day or two, but in the end you'll be like you wasted the whole year doing this. So that should not be the case. Okay, control. What I would say for control is, as I've said, everything is in your hands. If you want to get promoted or do well in your life, to a certain extent, it all depends on you. Yeah, there have been uh, factors other than yourself also, like whom are you approaching for help? What are you doing in your free time? And what are you uh, planning on doing later on? All of this affects us, but also what affects us is how we think, and our mind is a weapon. People may think that other things are important, but no, I think for humans, it's just how we think and what actions we take after thinking. So um, that is the way. Okay. The next thing is coping mechanism. So this is really very important. We need to identify our distractions. Like we should be like, yes, I am so focused in life that nobody can go ahead of me. You can do so many things in a day which you will not even imagine. Like you could use these 24 hours or 18 hours per se to do so many things, and each day when you do these things it will make you very a great person, and it will make you an improved person or improved version of yourself from before. So you should make notes of all these factors which are help are making you lose focus, and then we can try on coping from it. So identifying, so we can identify maybe every day, like you wrote down, like I was lazy on this day, and I didn't do so well on that day, and you will make another thing where you will write another part where you will write like why did it happen? Why do you think you had a sad feeling about the day, or why do you think you were not able to do things which you had planned before? So identifying is very an important step, and writing it down is equally important, because you will need to manage them somehow, and and you may not know what is triggering you so much, but deep down everybody will know deep down that what is actually happening. Nobody else can do it for you. You will have to do it for yourself if you want to improve somehow. Explore your sensations, like what happens when you use your phone, what happens when you are going out. uh, there is always a feeling and impulse when you know that you are not doing what you have to do. The whole thing is about this, like you are not able to do the thing you should do to improve, and apart other than that you are doing everything else except for the thing you should do. I think I can say it in that way only. Okay, so the next thing is the step two is we have to plan. Many people know we make plans, but the plans don't happen really. So, uh, okay, so I think, uh, yes. Um, This is the step two. Okay. Um, Next thing is values. We learn them from our childhood, and what we have learned, we should apply it as well. Um, to become a good person, and obviously family will factor in a lot, and schedule it uh, to your own extent, and prioritize. Prioritizing is very important, that how you prioritize your things, how you give your effort to your relationships, and how much effort you put in your uh, career as well. So make a weekly chart for it, and so that you know what you have planned for the next year or for the next week. Um, and yes, hold back external triggers in some way. We have talked about distractions and smartphones. You have to clean your smartphone, which you do not require. If there is an app which is distracting you a lot, you may hide the app or just remove the app for a certain period. Um, and it's the same thing. Like you can rearrange your apps. You can remove the apps which things will make you use them more. You can check your screen time as well. Um, okay, and just keep the apps which you use a lot in the end so that you don't see them too often. That is the way that I have noticed people do. And yes, don't let external triggers affect you in any way. The step four is preventing distraction. Three, commitment is also very important. When you know that you have planned to do this thing for say 3 hours, so don't stay away from it. Don't let any other triggers pull you away from doing important tasks. And pre-commitment is something which depends on you, how you manage your things. There are three types of packs. Okay, so I think I'll end it over here. It's fine. Okay, thank you.
Siddhi, you are giving a wonderful presentation. Please, you can end it. Please finish it, and then you can end it.
Okay, thank you so much. I think just a little part of life, I guess. Okay, so packs. Yes. Uh, so I think I'm not able to do it. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so packs. You might ask, what is a pack? This is a very different thing from what we have seen so far. Like a pact is, you may make pacts with a friend, like, yeah, we'll do this thing on this day and you will go out, or you may go on a holiday, or some sort of pact. But I think the pacts which you make with yourself are really should be very genuine, and uh, it should, you know, it all depends on you. Like nobody is going to ask you, like, have you made sure that you did all these things. Nobody else will ask you when you are at the age of 18, above 18. Nobody is going to ask you that. It all depends on you, where you want to go ahead in life. And effort fact is that you have to put in this effort this day, on each day maybe. And this is the shift which will happen. Like we try, we say that we did have efforts, but were they wholehearted efforts? Did you just do these things because somebody else made you do them? Like I have learned this the hard way. Like when you do something wholeheartedly, the result of it will be way uh, amazing than it was before if you were just half-heartedly doing stuff. And price tags, this is just that if you are overspending, so how will you not like uh, spend so much? Because when on the first day of the month when you have your salary, you will be like, yeah, I need to buy all the things I like or just spend so much on food. But I think it's important. It's also a very important thing when you're earning on your own to not use your funds so casually, as it is very important to save something. So this is a pact which you can make for yourself. Identity pact is sometimes people take on a new identity. I'm not saying changing your name or being somebody else. I'm just saying that you think of yourself as someone more amazing than you already are. Like you say that you are going to be a manager, suppose. So you just feel that way and you behave that way, so that automatically when you think that you will be that person, uh, what fate happens is that you will be, because you are feeling that way and you think of yourself in that way. Just for example, when you say that you are going to turn vegan, suppose vegan, so you will not feel like eating meat at all. So uh, that is just how we can trick our mind to do things which we don't want to do initially. And this is very important. You need to empower yourself each day. Nobody else is going to empower you. But even if you watch YouTube videos to mm, motivate you, I think they are not enough. Even that is not even a start. Like just saying to yourself each day, and saying that you will grow by the end of the month is enough to make you do what you want to do, and never let any sort of addiction steer you away. Okay, and yeah, that is what I'm saying. Just empower yourself. And hackback is something we can do online and offline. And yeah, so I think this is the pretty much last part. This is just plan for the future. uh, Note down where you want to see yourself in 5 or 4 years. This is a common interview question actually. But it's not just to make you think. It's not just to make you like say some weird answers which you have already seen from the internet. This is for yourself. Like, how do you want to feel, or what do you want to become in 5 years? Maybe now you're not that person, but think that you are that person now, and how every step you can take to achieve that, so you can reshape your life in this way. Uh, what I have just said is only the first step. All the hard work which after being very focused and after doing it, it's not depending on how intelligent you are or anything. It all depends on your hard work. And people these days, everybody has the same ability to do anything. If you want to do your speech practice, it all depends on you how much hours you are using every day for it. And if you even remember to do it, obviously you will do it. Like this is so important for us to practice each day, and not think that why do I have to do it every day. It just depends on you if you have to. And I think yeah, I'm done with the presentation. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Siddhi. Truly wonderful. Like I really want to compliment you on your presentation slides and the way you explain, like you were connecting dot by dot, and ultimately it came back to a circle. So that was really great, and I really want to learn from you that how to make presentations. Please, please, please guide me through it.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, and that was truly a wonderful presentation. So, does anyone have doubt, any questions for Siddhi? Okay, so Siddhi, I have one question for you. Yeah, and one more thing I forgot to mention. Like while you were explaining about all the distractions, like while the whole presentation, I thought that this presentation is on my own life. So that was a wonderful presentation. So yeah, my question is that as you said that you sold off your phone, and you are having that small phone which you use only for call and all. So what sort of changes you felt inside you after you know kept yourself away from all this sort of distractions?
Yeah, so that is a great question because this is from my own experience. That I told my mom, dad that I will be selling off my phone, and at first they were like, "Why are you selling a smartphone? Because it's so important if you go out and if you don't know where you are, like you will need maps as well, right?" So they were like, "Don't do it," but I knew in my heart that somehow I need to score well because the last time I wasn't able to do so well in my exams. So the change which I felt was that I wasn't thinking a lot about others. Like I gave more hours to what I had to do more because actually for me this is a very important topic because I was addicted to phone a lot and I spent so many hours. I have a really high number now, and it's in my habit only that if I use something, I'll use it for so many hours. And also I was ordering a lot from outside. If you have your phone, you just order and you're happy to wait that the order is on the way. So I needed to stay away. And this leads me to spend so much also on food or anything online. So now I'm using my small phone. I just use it to call my mom because I'm staying away. And I just use it for emergencies only. So everyone in my class were actually like, "Are you serious?" This is a very new thing for somebody to do. But I think I wouldn't recommend it to everybody. But if you just feel only for maybe a month, you need to do this, take this heavy step. Maybe you could just switch off your phone for a while and just have important things to do with it. Maybe you might notice it yourself how you will change. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
And one last question. And do you feel any change in your confidence or in your communication? Like when I say communication, I am not just talking about fluency, but the overall point of communication, like the way you present yourself, the way you interact with people. So the way you indulge into within a crowd. So do you felt any change?
So, yes, to some extent, because now I'm able to spend time interacting with people. Because previously I used to just look at my phone and ignore. Because for us, I know that because we have the problem, we may do anything in the world to not talk to other people. And I used to use my phone, like if I'm in a lift, this is a very common example. If I'm in a lift, I won't talk to other people. I'm on the phone. I will just on. I have my headphones. Even in class, I used to feel that I'm not speaking to other people because I have phone. I have things to do or maybe things to do. So I do feel that now I'm interacting way more than I used to before. And also I use an app to do exercises, speech exercises. So I'm able to do that, or else otherwise I used to just skip it before only. Or also this it's one thing you may not know do that actually, but if I have to order, right? So I sometimes I show people this, like I want this or something, and I didn't used to say it because I wasn't able to say the word sometimes. So I'm not I'm escaped from this whole thing. So right now I'm somehow improving my life. It's only been 3 or 4 weeks only now. So let's see what happens next year.
Very interesting, really very interesting. And which was the name of the book you suggested while your presentation? Can you just show it?
Yeah. So this is the
Power of
power of habit. So this is I don't know if it's opposite, but I think my dad gave it to me, and it was I have only read a few initial part of it, but I think it's based on research a lot, like how habits affect us. Like if somebody is not able to think, like if somebody has Alzheimer's, it's an example in this. So how will habits affect him? Because he's not knowing that he has to do all these things. So all of these things are there, and I have to read more to understand it more. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Siddhi. Once again, great presentation slides, great research, and the way you explained, like it came back to a circle. That was really beautiful. Like even I want to learn like how to explain a presentation and bring back the audience to the point where they like where you began, and that was a wonderful explanation. Great, Siddhi.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, Vansh, will are you ready for your presentation?
Yes.
Vansh, yeah.
My hello. Visual on my screen.
Yes, Vansh.
Hello, I'm Ansh Ved Singh. I'm presenting fingerprint recognition, how it's work. So let's start. And then the fingerprints recognition is the one of the fingerprint recognition is one of the oldest and most researched. Fingerprint recognition is one of the oldest and most researched field of biometrics. Some biological principle mentions 1971 related to fingerprints recognition are as follows: individual epidermal rates and furrows have a different characteristic for a different fingerprints. This forms the foundation. Once okay. and and individual epidermal rights and furrows. It's a name you can listen. First point is individual epidermal rights and furrows have a different characteristic for a different fingerprints. This form the foundation fingerprint recognition. The configuration types are individually variable, but They vary within limits that allow for a symmetric qualification. Here lies the basis of fingerprint classification. And third is the and the the configuration and minute details of firewalls are permanent and unchanging. Means that is your fingerprint is unchangeable. If you in age of 20, 30, 50, it's not changed your fingerprints. And second is fingerprint formation. You can find with fingerprints there is a lots of minutes like crossover, bit function, bifurcation, ridge ending, island, delta, port. It is the type of way it is it is type of your fingerprints, and fingerprints are fully formed at about 7 months of its development, and finger ridge configuration do not change throughout the life of an individual, except due to accidents such as bruises and cuts on the fingertips. Uh, means ki your fingerprints does not change except you can got any accident or bruises and cuts. And second is unrelated person same reach have a very little generic similarity in their fingerprints. Parents and child have some generic similarity as they share half the genes, and sibling have sibling have more similarity. And fifth is the maximum genetic similarity is observed in monozygotic identical that twins. Fingerprint sensor, you can read this type of sensor. You will you see that. And the third is the types of fingerprint sensor. The first is optical, second is silicon based capacitive sensor, third is ultrasound sensor, and fifth is no, sorry, fourth is thermal. And first is a optical sensor. One second, please. And fifth is optical sensor. Is the oldest, most widely used technology. Majority of companies uses optical technology. The finger is placed on coated hard plastic plate. In the most devices are charged coupled devices. CCD converts the image of the fingerprints with dark lights and light valley into a digital signal. The brightness is either adjusted automatically or manually, leading a usable image. And what is the advantage? What is the advantage and disadvantage of optical sensor? And the first is an advantage. They are most proven over time. They can withstand to some degree temperature fluctuation. They are fairly inexpensive. They can provide resolution up to 500 up to 500 dpi. And what is the disadvantage of optical sensor? First is the size is the sensing plate must be sufficient size to achieve a quality image. Residual prints from previous year can cause image degradation as several latent prints can cause two set of print be superimposed. The coated and CCD arrays can wear with age, reducing accuracy. And fourth is a large number of vendors of fingerprint sensing equipments are gradually shifting towards silicon-based technology. What is the silicon based technology? First is silicon technology has gained a considerable acceptance since it's introduced in the late 90s. Most silicon or chip technology is based on DC capacitance, but some also use the AC capacitance. The silicon sensor acts as one plate of capacitor and the finger is the other. The capacitance between the sensing plate and the finger is converted into a 8-bit gray-scale digital image. Silicon-based content fingerprints cards contain fingerprints cards contain numerous capacitive plates measure the capac- measure the capacitance between the plate and the fingertip. When the finger is placed on the sensor, extremely weak electric charge are created, building a pattern between the finger's rise or a valley and the sensor's plates. Using these charge, the sensor measures the capacitance pattern across the surface. The measured value are digitalized by the sensor, then sent to the neighboring microprocessor. This can be done directly by applying the electric charge to the plate or by using electronic pulse passed to the fingerprints. Direct versus active capacitor measurement. You can see the finger when it is it's edges line when your finger touch the when your finger touch the capacitor, then the his charge is low. Then okay, I will. And then is silicon based sensor. What's the advantage and disadvantage? First, the silicon chip comprise of about 200 multiplied by 200 lines on a water of size of 1 centimeter multiplied by 1.5 centimeter, thus providing pretty good resolution for the image. Hence, silicon generally produce better image quality with less surface area than optical. Also, the reducing size the chip means lower cost, especially with the dropping cost in silicon chip manufacturing. Minimization of silicon chip also makes it possible for the chips to be integrated into numerous devices. What is the disadvantage of silicon-based sensor? In spite of claims by manufacturing that silicon is much more durable than optical. Silicon durability, especially the suboptimal consider, has yet to be proven. Also, with the reducing in the sensor size, it is even more important to ensure that and enrollment and verification are done carefully. And the third is ultrasound sensor. Ultrasound sensor technology is perhaps the most accurate of the fingerprints technology. It uses a transmitted ultrasound waves and measures the distance based on the impedance of a finger, the plate and air. Preliminary, primarily uses of products indicates that this is a technology with significant promise. What is the advantage and disadvantage? First is ultrasound is ultrasound is capable of penetrating dirt and resides on the sensing plate and the finger. This overcomes the drawback of optical device which can't make that distinct. It combines a strength of optical technology, large plate size, and ease of uses with the strength of silicon technology, the ability to overcome sub-optical reading conditions. It also it also virtually impossible to device an ultrasound system And what is the disadvantage? The quality of image depend on a great extent of on the contact between the finger and the sensor plate, which could also be quite hot. And fourth is fourth type is thermal sensor. Uses pyroelectric material. Pyroelectric material is able to convert a difference in temperature into a specific voltage. This effect is quite large and it is used in infrared cameras. And fourth is a thermal fingerprint sensor based on this material measures the temperature difference between to the sensor pixel or the contact with the ridges and those under the valleys that are not contact. What is the advantage and disadvantage? Advantage: strong immunity to electrostatic discharge, and second is thermal imaging functions as well. Extreme in temperature condition as at room temperature, it is almost impossible to decide with artificial fingertips. Disadvantage: the disadvantage of the thermal technique is that the image disappear quickly when a finger is placed on the sensor. Initially there is a big difference in the temperature and therefore a signal, but after a short period, less than a tenth tenth of the second, the image vanishes because the finger and the pixel array have reached thermal equilibrium. And third is this can be avoided by using a scanning method where the finger is scanned across the sensor, which is the same width as the image to be obtained, but only a few pixels. And this is a fingerprints type. You can say that there is a lots of type. Your fingerprints containing an overlay right loop, left loop, tinted arc, and arc. And these are line you can see in your fingerprints. One is first is bifurcation, and second is arc, third is loop, and island, ellipse, tinted arc, spiral load, and sweet gland. There is a maybe some glycerin in your hand. This is also accepted. And how is work automatic verification system. Image acquisition, उसके बाद second is image processing करता है, and then feature extraction and template registration करता है, and template matching, फिर उसको आप then store your fingerprints data.
इसको कहाँ रखे यार टेस्टर
नहीं
हैं
18 is feature extraction. The 18 is feature extraction, and the 18 is the feature extraction. The human fingerprints is comprised of various type of ridges pattern, and the second is traditionally classified according to the decades old Hindi system. Left loop, right loop, arc, hole, and tinted arc. Loops make nearly 2 by 3 of half fingerprints. So holes are nearly by 1 by 3, and perhaps 5 and 10% are arcs. This and fourth is these classification are relevant in many large scale forensic application, but they are rarely used in biometric authentication. And this is feature enhancement. This is original, and when it is enhanced, then it look like this. And 20 is what's the algorithm. One is what is the algorithm. And first is automatic minority detection. Algorithm is the basic idea here is compare the minute on the two images. The finger Alongside is the input given to the system, as can be seen from the figure. The various detail of this image can be easily detected. Hence, we are in a positive to apply to AMD algorithm. And this you can see how it's work. There is a you can see there is a lots of minutes. Means there is a there is a lots of minutes, and then is matching with your database and verification. And this the next step to the algorithm is to mark all the minutes point to the duplicate image of the input fingerprints with the lines much clear after feature extraction. And third is then this image is superimposed onto the input image with marked marked minute points as shown in the figure. And third, finally, a comparison is made with the image in the database, and a probabilistic result is given. What's the problem with AMD? It is difficult to extract the minutiae points accurately when the fingerprints is low quality. This method that does not take onto the account of global pattern of ridge and of furrows, and fingerprint matching based on minute has a problem in matching different size unregistered minute pattern. And algorithm is FX3 algorithm. FX3 SDK is a is a collection of innovative algorithm for the processing, feature extracting and matching of fingerprints, which provides great security and efficiency. FX3 implements different matching status multi-model matching, and performs feature extraction directly on the grayscale image. What is the application of fingerprint sensor? The banking security, physical access control, information system security, national ID system, passport control, and prison and then voting identification of criminal identification of missing children, secure e-commerce, and it is still under research. And thank you.
That was a wonderful presentation, Vansh. So, any questions for Vansh? Vansh, I have one question. Like nowadays, we can see in our phone that even by just applying our thumb, we are able to unlock our mobile. So, what type of fingerprint scanner is that?
It's a ultrasound technique that is in your phone. That's आपके फोन के अंदर वो मतलब वेव स्विच पड़ता है वो. तो अगर आप देखेंगे जो मतलब उसमें जैसे आप रखते हैं तो मतलब जो है मतलब आपके फोन में जैसे आप उसको रखते हैं तो वहां बहुत लाइट निकलती है वहां पे. आपने ध्यान दिया होगा तो
राइट.
तो मतलब उससे वो कैप्चर कर लेता है कहाँ पे लाइट आई मीन वो कि आप यहाँ देख पाएंगे जहाँ पे एजेस उठे हुए हैं तो मतलब जहाँ पे एजेस उठे होते हैं वहां का वेव जल्दी वापस आ जाता है, और जो खाली होता है थोड़ा लेट लगता है. तो उससे क्या होता है वो उससे इमेज को बना लेता है जो मतलब वहां ऐसे काम करता है इस तरीके से.
Interesting. Yeah, thank you, Vansh. Thanks a lot for such a great presentation. Like, क्योंकि मुझको इन सब के बारे में कुछ आइडिया ही नहीं था. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to once. Yeah. So I want to say you have presented you very well, but uh, uh, I think from the readings slides, you have to speak. You have to speak from your own. So I think that would be the good idea of presenting.
Thank you for your feedback, Amanji. I am sure that once will definitely act on your feedback.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Vansh. Thank you, Amanji. So let me know if you are able to, just a second. Yeah, let me know if you are able to, see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, so good. Hello, everyone. Myself, Rohil. The topic of my presentation is leadership lessons from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So basically, talking about him, I don't think that he needs much introduction. So let us just skip to the presentations. So basically, I have made this presentation on one of my favorite novel, which is Shriman Yogi, and Shriman Yogi, written by Shri Ranjit Desai, and Shriman Yogi is like one of the most famous books on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and it gives you a very clear image of him, like how does he walk, how does he talk, how does he dress, and how he used to make his campaign strategies, how he used to be in his courtyard with his wife. So it is a wonderful book, and the author who has written it, Shri Ranjit Desai, he is well known for his engaging content, and he has even received the prestigious Padma Shri Award in 1973 for his writings. And and if you are a history geek, you should definitely go through this novel. So about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he was born at Shivneri Fort, which is near Pune, on 19th of February 1630, and he was the second son to Shahaji Bhosle and Jizabai. His father was a general at the Adil Shahi regime at that time. So he was doing a job for Adil Shahi regime. And Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is also known as the founder of Indian Navy. So struggles during the birth of Raje. So at that time, India was in its lowest phase. Talking about very few people were fighting back against the mighty Mughal emperor, Guru Arjan sacrificed his life, and only the Sikhs were retaliating, and the brave Indian kings were forced to get in relationship with the Mughals, and even the last sovereign kingdom, like the last vast kingdom, the Vijayanagar kingdom collapsed, and it came under the Mughal regime. And the times were so dark that even the young girls and women were abducted in a huge crowd by just a handful of Mughal soldiers, and no one was able to do anything. That was such a dark days India was facing. Sorry. So yeah, so then when Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj he noticed all of this, he was very sad by all what was happening. So he decided to wage a war for Swarajya. Swarajya means self-rule, and this presentation is all of the this little presentation is involved with a small leadership lessons which we can learn from him. So first is think big, think large. As I could remember in Siddhi's presentation, she mentioned that हम एक goal तो बना लेते हैं, but we fail to work on it. So even though this is a very small thing, but it plays a very important role in setting our goals and working on it. So at just a tender age of 16, he realized his goal of Swarajya, which is self rule. And as I said, his father was working for Adil Shahi regime. And even though he had a huge Jagir, means Jagir was means the revenue collected from that region. So but still he had this goal to make India free again. So the unique thing about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was that whatever goals he used to set it for long terms, you know. And that was how he is even known for building a strong Indian navy, and that's why he is still known as the father of Indian navy. So start small. Many of times we plan so big that we are overwhelmed that from where should we start. So from Rajesh history, we can learn that we can just start small, like one step at a time. So even Raje started small, like collecting small soldiers from his city, from his village, and he and Rohideshwar Fort was the first fort. Like you can see the fort in this image, and the image above it, you can see that how Raje was collecting soldiers. So Rohideshwar Fort was the first fort which was won by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and even at that time, people thought that it is just a suicide mission, and at the long term it will be a disastrous mission for everyone. But as I mentioned in the first slide, Raje used to think for far beyond his times, and his strategies were implemented in such a way that how they will be beneficial for the future use. So similarly, Rohideshwar Fort was one such strategically important fort, which he won with a very small soldiers. So watch people around you. You know, uh, there is a very interesting thing about history. It teaches us that what will happen in future. You know, if you are good at history, you can predict that what might come forward at us. So in this Raje was very good at analyzing people. He had many people from various backgrounds, like like somewhere farmers, somewhere cobblers, somewhere just mere artists. So he used to identify the good in every people, like the good skills. So from this, we can learn that to be a good leader, we should be able to that understand the science of human nature. And even Jack Ma has said that if you cannot work with other people, you can never be a successful person. So that's what we can learn, that we need to understand how the human nature works. Only then we can be a good leader. So have a team. uh, if you want to achieve something, we cannot do it alone. Like for example, if tomorrow one says that I want to start a company, so one just cannot do everything all by own. Like he cannot do marketing alone, he cannot do sales alone, he cannot manage the finances alone. He needs a team for that. So that's why delegation is the most important part of leadership. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj said that I cannot have 1,000 eyes to look after everything. So that's why he had advisors, friends, peshwas, army, and everything to look after other matters. So that's why having a team, and not just a team working for a single goal, that is more important. And you can learn it from many leaders, that even though your team won't have talented people, and that's fine, you can teach them the necessary skills, but your team should have common goal and good attitude, because these two things cannot be taught to anyone. So be confident. Even as a stammerer, like we have learned that सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. When Raje started winning small forts, so even his mentor thought that it is just a bravado, and after winning 4 to 5 forts, he will just cool down. So, so his mission for Swarajya will once again go into ashes. But Raje used to avoid negative people. He used to avoid such negative talks, and as we learned from Siddhi's presentation, that to be confident, first of all, you need to I can't remember that term, that the term which was opposite of distractions. It was tractions. Am I right, Siddhi? Could you just correct me with that if I am wrong?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Siddhi. So as we learned from Siddhi, that if we will focus on our tractions, if we will avoid our distractions, so we will be confident. And by watching Siddhi's example, where she avoided all her distractions, she could feel the confidence within herself. So then that's how we can be confident. So coming back to presentations, he taught us that you should always be confident within yourself. So being a role model, uh, I just love this topic. So Shivaji Maharaj was born in that time when when the times were tough, and India was in a in a state of social hierarchy, which meant that you only a specific birth of people can be a general, only a specific birth of people can do so and so task. Okay, and Raje was completely against it. So as I mentioned in the earlier slides, Raje was good at analyzing people. His team was comprised with various people from various communities, and Raje believed that only a specific only a specific class of people or a person from specific community cannot be a good at some specific task, so Raje believed in diversity, so that's why he was a role model. And there are very uh, very much examples that see, if you are a humble leader, your team will be humble. If you are a corrupt leader, your team will be very corrupt. So similarly, I just remembered one such example when Raje and his soldiers, they won a fort of Nizam. So the Nizam had a very beautiful wife, and in those days, if you won the enemy's fort, the enemy's sisters or the enemy's wife, they will be like a you can use them as a pleasure. So that used to happen in those days. But Raje was completely a different personality. He when he won that fort, and his soldiers thought that the enemy had a beautiful wife, so she can so she can be used as an entertainment tool for Shivaji Raje. But and when they presented her in front of him, he said that I can see my own mothers and my own sisters in that lady. So that lady should be sent back to her husband with utmost respect. So that was the level of role model he was for his team. And as I said, if you are a corrupt leader, your team will be corrupt. If you are a humble leader, your team will be humble. So that's why with since Raje was with such a pure heart, even his soldiers were with a pure heart. So that's what made his dream a successful Swarajya. So, and then finally came that day on 6th June 1674. India finally saw a sovereign kingdom. The Maratha Empire was finally established within all these nightmares, where as I just mentioned that there were a lot of challenges. Finally, there was someone who was able to you know who was declared a king, and he was known as Janta Raja, not because of his birth, not because of his not because a few people just believe that he can be a king, because of his acts. As I just mentioned he he was a perfect role model of how a kingdom should be, how a king should be. And as I just said, he used to give positions to people not by their birth or community. He used to give them the title by their work and talent. So then that's how a Chhatrapati was born. So, and the seventh most important thing that we can learn from him was standing against norms. As I just mentioned in earlier slide, that when a kingdom used to win another kingdom, the enemy's wife used to be treated like a entertainment object also. But Raje was completely against that. And as I just mentioned, Raje was not Raje was completely against giving titles to a person who belonged to a specific community. He used to give titles on the talent they possess, on the hard work they were ready to show for their ultimate goal, and because of which he was known as Janta Raja, which means people's king, a king who worked for the people and worked for the betterment of the people. So, and even in today's society, like you all might have heard that एक हकलाता हुआ लड़का या लड़की क्या चेंज ला सकता है, और वो थोड़ी ना एक लीडर बन सकता है, और वो थोड़ी ना एक ऑफिस में प्रेजेंटेशन दे सकता है. सो इफ यू हर्ड such type of taunts in the future, just remember that back then in the 17th century there was a man who stood against such norms and he built a swarajya, because the Mughals thought that the Indians are made only to be a slave. So then one man stood against such norms and he built an empire. He was Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So in the future, if someone may like showcase you such norms कि एक हकलाता हुआ लड़का और एक हकलाती हुई लड़की क्या ही कर सकता है, just remember one person, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and his life lessons, that how he stood against such norms. So now let us see some of the famous views on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So Swami Vivekananda said that King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is not just a name, it is the energy source for every Indian youth which can be used to make India free. You know, by after reading this norm, there is a very small story I will like to narrate to you. If you are in Maharashtra or in a town or city sharing borders with Maharashtra, if someone used to say Jai Bhavani, so automatically you used to shout Jai Shivaji. So then that's how this energy source is filled deep into us and deep into many Indian states. And Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose said that if India needs to be made independent, then there is only one way out: fight like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And he said that, and he said because the how Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj united people from every community and every religion to fight against one enemy and for one goal, that was Swarajya, which is independence. So, and you will be shocked to know even Adolf Hitler used to admire him a lot. So when Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose went to Hitler to gather his own army, so Adolf Hitler just said the following lines to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose: Netaji, your country do not require any Hitler to throw out British Raj. All you need to do is teach about the life lesson of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to your own countrymen. And even Lord Mountbatten of England, he said that had King Shivaji been born in England, we will not only have ruled the earth, but the entire universe. And his greatest enemy, Aurangzeb, at that time, he was the emperor of the Mughal Empire. So after King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's death, he spoke the following lines: from Kabul to Kandahar, my Temur family created the Mughal Sultanate, Iraq, Iran, Turkestan, and many more. And from many more regions, my army has defeated ferocious warriors. But in India, Shivaji Raje put brakes on us. I spent my maximum energy on Shivaji Raje, but could not bring him on my knees. Ya Allah, you gave me an enemy, fearless and upright. Please keep your doors open to heaven upon open for him, because the world's best and large-hearted warrior is coming to you. So such was the vibe Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj uh, you know glaze upon all the people. Even his enemies used to showcase positive points on him. So, and to be very frank, I have read many of his books, and I can count many of his abilities till many hours. But uh, but even I have time constraints. So all I can say is that mm, with such great leadership lessons, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj will be always remembered. And and to be very frank, I am really telling you, if whenever you feel demotivated, just read about his life lessons or just read his novel. So you will get a lot to learn. So so now you so now I know that after hearing about one such great personality, we all will be eager to see his real image. So such was so this is the real painting of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And unfortunately, when British Raj came to India, even this priceless painting was stolen, and now it is kept in the Royal British Museum. So and once again, guys, whenever you think that you are demotivated, just read about this human, and after reading about him, even you will think that was he a man or was he a god. So thank you very much, everyone. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, hello, Rohil. You have presented very well, very fluently, and very confidently. So, I'm really happy after seeing you, after seeing your your presentation. I have a question. I think we all know about the story of Shivaji and Afzal Khan. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So there is a story in which Shivaji attacks on Afzal Khan after wearing some. I don't know what it is called in English. So 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 my question is to you. So do you think it is okay to attack someone from the back, and how you and how you uh, and how you see this story Sh- of Shivaji?
Well, so basically, I think that you have not read this part of history quite well. And secondly, the weapon by which Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj attacked Afzal Khan was Wagnak. So it was like
Yeah.
a, yeah, right. It was like a tiger nail. So the story is like Afzal Khan was a very ferocious warrior, and he believed that if like if you are his enemy, so he will kill you, and not even you, but he will kill your entire family. So he was such a ferocious demon. And talking about how Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj killed Afzal Khan, so it was like he didn't kill him only by brute force, but he killed him strategically, because at that time uh, 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 Amanji, could you please mute, because there is, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so coming back to the story, uh, the enemy sent, that is the I just forgot the regime which sent Afzal Khan. The Adil Shahi regime, they sent Afzal Khan to defeat Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And while coming to his fort, Afzal Khan didn't only massacred soldiers, but they massacred everyone coming on his way, like soldiers, women, children, everyone. And when and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had to stop him anyhow, because that was the goal of the entire India, and every Indian wanted that goal of Swarajya. Okay, no one wanted such a ferocious and emotionless ruler to rule India. So everyone wanted this dream of Swarajya to become true. So he invited Afzal Khan with to have a peace treaty. And everyone know, and everyone know that Afzal Khan will definitely um what's that word, like, yeah, so he will break his words and he will kill Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And even Shivaji Raje knew about that, so he was well prepared. And when while having their peace talks at the bottom of Raigad Fort, so Afzal Khan went for a hug at Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And when they hugged, Afzal Khan, he took out his khanjir and tried to attack Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj on his back. So Afzal Khan was the one who attacked from back. Okay, so Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was well prepared, and he was wearing a armor. So when when Khan understood that he has lost his chance, then Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj took out his Wagnak and then he pierced him through his stomach. So that's how Afzal Khan was killed, and the dream of Swarajya went on and
Okay,
on.
okay. So yeah. So you had explained it very well, and actually I know about it, and I also know all the regions, but actually I wanted to listen it from you. So
Okay,
so yeah, so yeah, so you had explained it very well. So
thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yes, so I think you gave a very great presentation and you explained also really well.
Thank you.
So I would just like to ask, like, do we need to have a role model to be a role model? And like, who is like I would like to know like who is your role model as well, because like we know Shivaji Maharaj has he's a very had a very important role in Indian history. So who do you think apart from him as well from Indian history is your role model, and anything that you have learned from him, which you use in your everyday, or maybe you have it has impacted you in some way. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a wonderful question, Siddhi. Thank you for asking about it. So apart from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, my role model is Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. So he is a, talking about Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, he is very underrated Indian king. Very, very, very few people know about him. So he is also known as Chhawa. You won't believe, after the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Aurangzeb thought that this is the perfect time to win entire Maharashtra and Deccan, because till the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he had more than 200 forts, and they were strategically important fort in the Deccan Plateau. So after the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Aurangzeb marched on Deccan with more than 20 lakh soldiers. You won't believe me, more than 20 lakh soldiers. And at that time, Maratha Empire was under the leadership of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So, and they didn't have even more than 1 lakh soldiers, because their war strategy was guerrilla warfare. So you can just imagine, more than 20 lakh soldiers at one side, more than 20 lakh soldiers of Mughal Empire, and on the other end, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was having hardly 80 or 90,000 soldiers. But and if you ask anyone, what will you do? You will simply say that I will simply surrender in front of a huge army of more than 20 lakh soldiers. But the exact opposite happened. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj fought so well, like he didn't give one single fort to the Mughal Empire. Yeah, yes, and I agree that with constant warfare, few generals, they left the side of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, but the common people, like the even like his father, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was known as Janta Raja, Jantesa Raja, people's king. But the common people stayed with him, and his rule was only 9 years, because one of his family members, he got involved with Aurangzeb, and ultimately Aurangzeb captured Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and then the after the and after he was captured, he was cut into pieces. So that's a very sad story. But before his death, even Aurangzeb admired him. He said that he said to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj that I have 4 sons, and even if one son could have been as brave as you, I could have conquered the entire India. And yeah, and with that 80,000 soldiers, he was not only fighting with Mughals, he was fighting with Portuguese, and he even had small clashes with British soldiers, Mughals, Adil Shahi, and a king from the southern end of Karnataka. With just 80,000 soldiers, he was fighting these 5 kingdoms. So yeah, so then that's why I have learned from him that never, never, never ever give up. And frankly speaking, from my birth, I used to think that even I want to speak in front of people, I want to express myself. So from the life lessons of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, I have learned a lot about life, that how you can tackle every circumstances, how to negotiate with people, how to fight back. So that's what I, and recently I had a small accident which, which came up into a major brain injury. So I was very like, I was like कि अब क्या होगा मेरा, will I be able to manage my career and all that thing. But then I remembered that even Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had faced many losses, like like after the major loot of port city Surat, Aurangzeb sent Mirza Raje to teach Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj a huge lesson. So Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj faced a huge losses, so he had to sign a treaty with Aurangzeb. But still, even after losing so many strategically important forts, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had that dream of Swarajya. He once again started his dream of Swarajya from scratch. Even after losing such a major battle, he started his dream of Swarajya from scratch, and he won all that forts back, and he became a role model for every Indian man or woman. So that's why yeah, so that's why just a second, this call is important. Hello. uh, Nine. Yeah, really sorry for that. So that's why I admire them a lot. So I hope, Siddhi, I was able to answer your query well.
Yes, it was amazing to know this part of history actually because I didn't know it before, and I think you know so much about our history, Indian history. That is also amazing. So only one more thing I have to ask, like, do we need to have a role model to become on ourselves? Is it required? Like,
Yeah, I think that we need to have a role model, because without them, see, like every day you, like you might be having someone in mind कि तुम्हें इनके जैसा बनना है. That might be Rani Lakshmi Bai, that might be Indira Gandhi, or that might be our present president of India. Like now, she's one of the most powerful lady of the entire India. So, like, so according to me, everyone should have a role model, because once we face a failure, we can connect our life to their life, that yes, even they face such the huge failure, but still now they are at a huge position. So even I can overcome my failure and I can reach my heights. So other people might have different thoughts on this.
thank you so much for answering.
Thank you, Siddhi. So Aman, you can begin your presentation. Actually, actually Aman shared his interest to give a presentation, and so that's why. And if yeah, Aman, you can share your screen.
He, yes, actually, I'm sharing it. I'll take 1-2 minutes more because
Sure.
I think it is I'm not able to share it. So let me do it.
Yeah, till that time, if you want to learn more about the life lessons of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, there are various books on him. And in English, I will suggest Shivaji the Great Maratha. So you will get a extremely clear picture of him, that how was his ideology, his way of thinking.
Mm. Yeah, hello. Actually, I think the PDF which I had made, it is not supporting here. So,
Oh,
in spite of uploading PDF, I'll try to share the screen, right?
sure, sure. Yeah, sure. You can just, yeah, right. You just have to share your screen. Not, uh, so nothing else.
Yeah. So, for sharing screen, you will have to start now. Okay.
Aman, we are not able to see your screen. So, so thank you, Siddhi, for staying till the end. And as I said, I really want to learn the art of making such beautiful slides from you. Hope you will teach me the same. Aman, am I audible? Uh, Aman, am I audible?
Yes, hello. You are audible.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Aman,
So
yeah.
yes. So please, I'm again. I am processing it again.
Mhm.
When I was doing it earlier, I think when I was sharing a screen at that time, I was not audible, right?
Yeah.
So this time I want to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. So please, when when after sharing a screen, uh, when I was speaking, uh, was was I audible?
Yeah, you are audible now.
No, after sharing a screen, when I had shared the slide, at that time, was I audible?
Actually, what I can see on the screen is just written Samsung, and I can see your mobile screen. So other than that, so while you were sharing, I think you were not audible.
Okay, so okay, so okay, so please let me know when I will share this this that time a slide a slide will be there of stammering and meditation. Then please let me know कि was I audible or not. Okay.
Sure. Uh, yeah, and
Yeah. So yeah. So in the year of two 2017 and 18, actually, uh, I started realizing that I have to improve this stammering because I was very shameful of this. I could not speak everywhere in the class or anywhere. So I started doing I so actually when I was when I was child, I used to do a short type of meditation. And after coming in the college, I started watching Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev, and I was highly inspired. Uh, uh, I was highly inspired uh, by him, and yeah, so I remember those days after when I started watching Sadhguru. In spite of going all the classes, I used to do medit medit meditation, and yeah, and some other activities I also did in those days because 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 I was thinking कि it would not be cured. So I started doing research on it कि how I'll be how I'll be cured. So what should I do कि I'll be cured. So in the year of 2017 and 18, I was desperately looking at something which can come in my life, and which can make me free from all this. Yeah. So in the year of 2000, in the year of 2000, n- n- nine, t- 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 n- n- nine, 10, I came to know about Vipassana, which was a which was a 10 stage program, and so I joined Vipassana because I just wanted to explore something which is new and which is real. Actually in those times, I was looking for enlightenment because because I was I was thinking if I get in enlightenment, all these problems of stammering will be cured. So so in 2019 I went in the program of Vipassana, and in the end of 2019 I also did inner engineering program of Sadguru, which teaches you Shambhavi Mahamudra. So I remember in those days I started doing it heavily. I had and of course I had many wonderful experience also, but actually I was not wanting. Actually, I was not getting what I wanted because I just wanted to get rid of stammering, and and uh, that was not happening anyway. Yeah, so so in the year of 2020, when I had to present my MTP project, I am pursuing engineering. So in the last year for so in the last year of engineering, we have to do any project, and we have to make any, and we have to do and we have to do present presentation also. So actually earlier in the all those in earlier years of engineering, I was skipping all those presentation and all, and when it came last year, I had to do it because if I don't do it, I'll be not uh, uh, passed in engineering. So I remember in the 2020 lockdown was announced, and I was very happy, you know, because I had not to do the presentation. So I remember after reaching mm, my home, I started listening also day and night because and after listening also, it was a great experience because when you start when you start listening also, it feels very good and very soothing to to your to your uh, ears, that you want to listen him more and more. So after listening also, I I started becoming confused because I started looking something which is real, something which is the absolute. So I became so much confused about each and everything thing. And I remember in those days when I used to apply hair oil on the hair. I used to think ki with it gonna work. Uh, will the hair applying, will the hair oil which I am applying, it is good for me. So I became that much confused in those days, and it was those days was really painful. I became so much confused in everything, every aspect of life. I had so many questions, and in those and in those time, I I realized I realized that that stammering is not stammering is not so uh, oh, stammering is not so uh, bad, because I started becoming confused, and so I realized कि stammering is problem when you had to speak, and especially when you had to speak in any in any authority, and this problem of confusion was everywhere, and was was with me all the time. So yeah, so in those time I remember I cried a lot. Yeah. uh, Hello. Are you still listening me? Are you all still listening me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, Aman, I am here. You can,
Yeah.
you can please continue.
Yeah. So when the year of 2021 came, my confusion was with me a lot still. And in those times, I started watching and listening J. Krishnamurti, and and I think he was the and he was the mm, and he was the oh, and he was the mm, oh, I'm not able to I'm not able to coming out of this letter. So when I started
No
watching
problem. You can try it again. There is nothing harm in trying it again.
okay, so I started watching J. Krishnamurti, and after listening this man, I realized, and it gave me a lot relief, because he had he had he had said something in his one video which made a lot of sense to me. And after listening him in that video, I came out of I came out of this zone of enlightenment, and after and of looking something which is absolute, because in his one video he had said कि order is not something which you can hold. Order is not something which you can hold. Order is natural, and when you observe your disorder, order comes naturally. So after listening him, this thought, it gave me a lot of relief. And after after that the time, I I I I uh, I was not in the of zone of looking something which is absolute, which is true, and it gave me a lot of relief. And I also want to tell you, the problem was the problem of confusion was still there up to 6 months, and but the region but I started looking at the confusion. Ki when I'm in the confusion, I started looking at it. Ki okay, I'm becoming confused again. So after looking and looking, I have come so far. Ki now n- n- now the problem of confusion uh, does not make me so low, or it does not is or it is not always. But I started I started observing it, and it gave me so relief from the from the confusion and all. Yeah, so in the year of 2000, in the year of 2022, I realized that I should have any group in which I can speak uh, without any fear, and I can practice all my presentation and all. So I came to know about TISA, and after joining it, I had seen a lot of improvement, because I had I had seen I have seen improvement on the acceptance level and on the fluency level also. Because earlier I remember when I presented, I was not able to speak even a single word. I was so scared and so vibrating, so that as if uh, 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 so that I was not able to speak a single word. But today I'm speaking. I'm also taking breath, and when I stuck in between, I use I try to use prolongation. I take breath, and still I, of course, I have a lot of flaws, but still I am happy, and I'm still facing it with the full of confidence. Yeah, so that was all the presentation which I wanted to share about it. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Aman. That was truly a wonderful presentation. And as you said, that how you were earlier and what you are now. Yeah, I can totally relate to it. And TISA has done a lot for each one of us. So as you said that through TISA, you have accepted yourself and you are improving your communication. I am really happy to hear about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I still get in block, and I try to share the word in the slowest way, using the prolongation. I still I do it, and I try to use it more. and hope कि I'll be able to do it in a more efficient way in the future.
I am sure you will.
Yeah. So is there any question to related what I present presented here about the Vipassana meditation and Shambhavi meditation?
For me, there is no question because I can completely relate to your experience that what improvement TISA has brought into you. So yeah, and I can understand the importance of what technique uh, does because even while speaking, I use pausing technique a lot. Like you use prolongation, I use pausing a lot. So it has benefited me a lot as well. So thank you,
Okay.
Aman. Thank you very much. And thank you for sharing your wonderful experiences. And yes, TISA is always helping PWS and it has in fact brought out many PWS from depression and now they think that they have got their new identity and new confidence. So this all, so as just like you, even I am greatly grateful to the Indian Stammering Association. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to present in the letter. I'm really happy because I because I have seen all those phases and all those uh, 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 all those body languages
Hmm.
which I'll face in the presentation.
Sure, definitely. And I am very sure that in the upcoming days, you will be guiding many PWS on various techniques like pausing, prolongation, and many more things.
Yes,
So
yes,
thank you once again. Thank you once
yeah,
again, and hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you so much, and same to you. Bye.
Bye.